There's an awful lot of unprocessed sadness in the world. And the reason for that is, a few decades ago, it was much more acceptable for there to be a violent person on the block who everybody knew about. Most of the time there was alcohol or drugs involved, but not always. Sometimes it was in the name of Christianity. Spare the rod and spoil the child. That's one extreme, of course. But if you think about it, how many households do you know of where children are heard? Or if a child feels sad, somebody actually cares. And I know today there's a lot of wonderful families that feel like this. So this is kind of a trip back in time for those of us in the boomer generation. That was a different time then. And I've had multiple wonderful, loving, healing women who were alive at the time that I was a child and confirmed to me that, yes, I did have bruises when I went to school or to church. And that felt so validating because nobody had ever validated that before. And it happened multiple times. That was the first time anybody ever heard me about that, at that deep level, at that deep knowing level. Because of that, there's a whole spectrum of families where children grow up not being heard. And if you never process the sadness that comes from that, the sadness that just builds up all the time from the fact that back then we didn't take our children seriously. Children were meant to be seen and not heard. And that was taken quite literally in most families. I'm not telling you these stories in order to make you feel sorry for me or to think, poor you, it's okay. No, that's not the reason for it at all. I'm saying this because you don't have to be that astute with energy recognition to understand that we live in a very sad, sad world right now. And part of the reason for that sadness is unprocessed sadness never goes away. It's unprocessed. It's just going to sit there and it's going to ferment and spoil and turn into anger. Or the knowing that you deserve something because of the pain you've suffered and you've survived, and by God, you deserve something now. And that's a dangerous combination. Being angry and feeling that you deserve something because you never had a chance to process your sadness. You never got heard. All of these unprocessed energies go into the collective consciousness, and it affects everything simply because the children didn't get listened to. They didn't have a chance to express their emotions. So if you think that there isn't an awful lot of shadow work that needs to be done out there in order to process all of this stored and unprocessed sadness, it really would be a pandemic. Not just an epidemic, it would be a pandemic. There's almost nobody, unless they've done a tremendous amount of work, and there are a few that have, but the vast majority haven't even touched this work. And that contributes to the consciousness as well. So we have a lot of work to do to process an awful lot of pent-up sadness. So that's my thoughts for this evening. I hope we figure it out soon. I love you all very much. Goodbye.